Hi guys, it's Janet. I have Dr. Michael Douglas with me of Morehouse. First question to you. How are you dealing with recent events? How are you coping with everything being in Atlanta?
Well, this has been, I teach at Morehouse. So kind of just a little bit of a background. I teach at Morehouse College. I work with I teach kinesiology at Morehouse. Um, and I also work with the Master of Public Health program at Morehouse School of Medicine. So I'm pretty busy and but I've taught online for several years. So when we transitioned, we're already using a learning management system as an adjunct to our in-classroom teaching. But I always had my courses set up like online courses anyway. So the transition there was easy. So right now, we're doing this interview and I'm in my man cave, and I got the things in here that I love. My favorite chair I'm sitting in, and I love music. Um, a lot of, I got a keyboard back here, and records, and a trumpet down on the floor, and the whole nine yards. And I love music, but I sat initially, the first month, um, not really realizing, that, okay, all right, month's over. What am I going to do now? So, I was in, sitting and teaching every day, synchronous courses, which means I sat in this chair quite a bit for long periods of time. And, snacks, you know, my fridge, hey, it's me again. I'm here, for another snack. I know I was just here 5 minutes ago, but, here I am again. And so after a while, I realized that, okay, I got to get up. I got to start moving. I got to change things. I couldn't go to the gym. Normally, I'll go to the gym every day, and I couldn't go. So I had to figure out some alternatives. And so I started walking, which is something that I was like, walking's boring. And yeah, I'm not really wasn't really into it. Now I walk every single day, anywhere between 3 to 6 miles per day, throw on a headset, listen to some music, listen to some motivational speaking, speeches and that sort of thing. And I play, I play PlayStation. So I love to play 2K. I'm not like really any good, in my world in here. I'm the greatest. I'm the GOAT, you know, but um, but I play a little 2K, watch movies with my wife, and that sort of thing. And just kind of, I'm a huge kind of nostalgia buff. So I like to go back and watch like old TV shows and look at all the different things. I'm like, wow, they can never get away with that today, with some of the things that they'd say and do. Um, and, and so that's how I cope. I try to, incorporate some different activities um, into my life and bring some new things, into it. But because of my schedule, I'm pretty busy, so I just kind of slide it in here or there when I can get to it.
So you've been involved in EDAC for many years now. What keeps you motivated to keep helping any kind of events or social media postings? What keeps you motivated?
Um, I have, well, she's not a colleague, but there is a broadcaster. Her name is LaChina Robinson, and her her tag is "Live to Inspire." She lives to inspire, and so I like to live to inspire. I like for my actions and the things that I've done um, to inspire individuals, especially ones that look like me, so that they can see that, hey, there's an opportunity for me. If I go get it, I can have it. If I want it, I can achieve it. So um, you know going to EDAC meetings and being involved in EDAC is an opportunity for people to see that, hey, I can be 6'2", you know, 270-pound, black guy, and I can do this, because he did it. So just having something to connect to, but also promoting, the diversity within our profession, so that other cultures, other ethnicities will have an opportunity to see, people that look like them. Having role models is extremely important. So when I came into athletic training and I, saw Dr. Frank Walters, Monroe Abram, who's, these guys were really mentors to me. Roger Hines, I looked at them. In fact, um, I'm not going to tell the old guy story, but when I was in college, Roger Hines was the assistant athletic trainer for the Atlanta Hawks. And I saw Roger Hines at a Hawks game. And I'm like, man, what's that guy doing down there? And when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. And, I'd already, had somewhat of a commitment to athletic training at that point, but I really made a commitment to, you know, being an athletic trainer, in the NBA. So that was important to me. That was a goal. And I knew it could be done because guess what? Roger did it. And he was the first person that I saw. So, years later, I had opportunity to meet him. And, he just celebrated a birthday a few days ago. And, we don't talk as much as we used to, but he's still a mentor. He's still there for me, um, even in his current position.
With that being said, do you ever feel like there's an increased pressure on diverse athletic trainers to really be role models?
I think I don't think there's a pressure. I think there's enough pressure, to be honest with you. I think that in some instances, we fail, um, in that we have to have a presence, in everything from, the top of the spectrum to the bottom of the spectrum. We have to have a presence. And so we may not have as much of a presence in the areas that we would like, but when it comes to diversity, I think that we should always make that a priority, um, just so that everybody knows that it's attainable. Now, the road might not be easy. And in fact, the road's not easy at all. And so you have to um, be able to fit into different spaces, as well as maintaining your professionalism, in those spaces to progress. So I think that we don't do enough to, some of us don't do enough to promote diversity and to kind of carry the mantle. And we all do it in different ways. So the way I do it is, I want to be there. I want people to at the very least, see me. Don't throw me a party, but just see me.
What do you think people can do more of when you say we're not doing enough? What can athletic trainers do to increase diversity within our profession and to retain minority athletic trainers in the profession?
I think that we should promote each other, not just in our um, EDAC forums, but also in outside of our forums, promoting each other in different areas, so that everyone gets an opportunity to see that whatever I set my mind to, I can get there. And also, you know I can touch this person. I can reach out to this person. I can call them whenever I want to call them, um, and have a conversation with them. I can text them. I can DM them, and be accessible and attainable, for them. So I remember, um, you know, some time ago. 20 plus years ago when I got started, thinking that, oh man, I can't call so and so because, you know, they're they work for the NFL or they work for, you know, the NBA or what have you, um, and feeling that they weren't attainable, you know, they weren't accessible, and you know, being at, you know, national meetings and, you know, trying to have conversations and, you know, trying to figure things out, like, okay, what's the path, you know, how can you, you know, how can you help me, what's the blueprint, you know, is there a blueprint, you know, for me to be successful, and not really having those open lines of communications. um, and I think that, you know, the more of that we do, um, the better off it is, you know, being transparent, you know, saying, hey, you know what, you know, this looks like this, you know, to you from over there, but over here this is what it feels like. You know, these are some of the pressures that are associated with, you know, the positions, um, and the job. These are some of the things that we go through from a social level with our families. um, so, you know, just kind of being an open book, you know, of sorts.
Shifting gears a little bit, so you were working in the NBA, and we all know the time that we take away from our social life and personal life when we're an athletic trainer. How were you able to work-life balance?
Back then I didn't. I just figured this thing out, like, you know, probably 10 years ago. So I never took vacations. I worked quite a bit, so I was not the best role model when it came to, you know, work life balance. So I worked quite a bit because I felt like, um, if I didn't work, that, you know, they would get rid of me. I was like, okay, I know that everybody else is taking vacation, everybody else is taking a little bit of time, and they're doing this and they're going to the, you know, different events. But, you know, intrinsically within myself, I felt like, I can't do that, and I have regrets, you know, associated with that. I didn't. There were some family events that I didn't attend. You know, I didn't go to my class reunion. You know, those types of things, and I regret it. You know, because at the end of the day, you know, you don't get that time back.
So if anyone follows you on Facebook, they will see how much you love Bruce Lee. Explain that love a little bit.
Well, when I was a kid, I grew up taking martial arts, and you know, Bruce Lee was a martial arts star, and I was just really into, um, you know, kung fu, Bruce Lee, all the movies, and you know, his the animations that he makes, you know, the movements that he makes with his face, um, and the parallels of, you know, Asian culture, you know, to Black culture, um, you know, grabbed me. And then, you know, in recent years, you know, as I've gotten older, Bruce Lee's philosophy, you know, and just it's just thought process, um, really resonates with me. So I haven't seen the latest documentary yet, but um, being like water, being able to uh, appear weak but be strong, being able to fit into any container, um, that I'm, you know, that I'm placed in, um, are some things that really, you know, resonate with me. So it's been a part of my life and a part of, you know, my thought process when I, you know, go out to achieve a goal. You know, to not talk about it, but constantly put some things in action to see the, you know, see the end in the beginning. You know, I knew I've been an athletic trainer now for 20 something years, um, but I knew that I was going to eventually be Dr. Douglas at some point. And I'd seen it done. So, you know, I saw Dr. Frank Walters, you know, you know, years ago. I was like, oh, I can do this, you know. And so, you know, that having, you know, that thought process and mentality something that, that kind of governs me on a daily basis. So I subscribe to a lot of Bruce Lee forums. So I get a lot of motivational quotes that come up. And, if you look at my, social media on Facebook, then yeah, you're going to see a lot of, Bruce Lee quotes.
All right, Dr. Michael Douglas, your final statement.
My final statement, to give, everyone out there, something to think about. Think about the process. Think about taking a few moments to yourself every day to to reflect, to ask yourself, how can I get better at this thing? Just pick something, in your life, and take a couple of moments to refine it, whether it's 15 minutes of reading, 15 minutes of meditation, whether it's 30 minutes of exercise, whether it's, watching, a continuing education, video, doing an anatomy puzzle, something to just get better, each and every day. Those are some things that, I try to do each and every day. And I want to encourage everyone else, to do the same.
Dr. Douglas, thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.